Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
Welcome! My name is Paul, and today we're going to be playing through The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. For those of you who do not know me, I am a variety streamer, a Let's Player, and video game reviewer here on YouTube and on Twitch. And I wanted to do something different today.
That is a Sheikah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
I wanted to make an archive, a collective of every game that I've streamed on Twitch. But I want to make it in a consumable format for YouTube. So, welcome to my new Let's Play series, where I'm going to be covering all the games that I've played on stream again for YouTube. This game is actually one of my favorite games for the Switch. And that doesn't sound like too big of a surprise or too big of a deal for anyone, right? Because it is the launch title for the Switch, the major launch title that ended up, making the Switch's launch just amazing. It's no surprise that a lot of people really like this game. But for me, it's a little bit more special than just that. And I'll explain that as we go.
Hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal. That will show you the way. Link, you are the light. Our light. That must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
This game actually got me through quite an interesting time of my life. And it's part of the reason I want this to be one of the first Let's Plays I jump back into doing on the channel. And I know that I don't normally do reviews, and that I've not normally been known, or that don't normally do Let's Plays, rather. And that I'm not normally known for Let's Plays. But I wanted to do something different. And this channel, this wonderful channel that has been here for years, doesn't feel like me anymore. And I want to talk about a little bit more of who I am and what I want to do. But first, welcome to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I still argue that this is a beautiful scene. Welcome to the Great Plateau! For anybody who isn't familiar with Breath of the Wild, this is your tutorial playground. It's a wonderful place that you start off on that teaches you all of the core mechanics pretty well. I want to say it teaches you most of the core mechanics and what you'll be doing through the duration of your adventure really, really well. Whether it's collecting things, fighting, it does so much for you. And we saw an old man down at the bottom of this hill. Let's quickly go talk to him. Because, one, look at that. That is so pretty. Well met, stranger. It's rather unusual to see another soul in these parts. Who are you? Me? I'll spare you my life story. I'm an old fool who has lived here alone for quite some time now. I hope you'll permit me a question. If I may be so bold, are you not chilly? I like how he talks about me not wearing clothes. Where are we? And then I just ignore his question. Answering a question with a question. That is fair enough. As I cannot imagine our meeting to be a simple coincidence, I shall tell you. This is the Great Plateau. According to the legend, this is the birthplace of the entire kingdom of Hyrule. What's that in the sky? The temple there. Long ago, it was the site of many sacred ceremonies. Ever since the decline of the kingdom 100 years ago, it has sat abandoned in a state of decay. There! It's up there again! Oh, that's a leaf! From, like, one of the trees, probably. I thought it was, like, something that you see later on in the game, and I'm just like, wait, what? What's it doing here? Yet another forgotten entity. A mere ghost of its former Yet another forgotten entity. A mere ghost of its former self. I shall be here for some time. Please let me know if I may be of service. I'm gonna take this apple. Thanks. I beg your pardon. I do believe that is my baked apple. You can't just go about taking whatever you please. Forgive me. I could not resist pulling your leg. Please help yourself. An apple and an open flame make for a succulent treat. Yeah, that's the foliage hanging off of this rock that I was seeing during the cutscene. I was wondering what it was. It looked like something entirely different. And because it was in the sky, I thought that maybe it was something we weren't supposed to see yet. Well then, just help yourself to that torch there. And how, may I ask, are you planning to use it? To set things on fire! That is rather unnerving. Cautious with... Please be cautious with that around any dry grass that may catch fire. You know, there are plenty of monsters in this area. That torch would make a good weapon if need be. However, do not just go swinging it and do not just swing it around without purpose. You must face your opponents and lock your sights on them. I love the fact that he's like, well, that's unnerving. I really hope the player isn't a, a monster. Wait. Come on. Come on. Light on fire. It's not gonna light the place on fire. What's the point in this torch? I get it. They want me not to set the place on fire. But if I wanted to... this makes me sad, actually. Oh, I can light that on fire using my new torch. I know that it's already there's already campfire here, and this one would be irrelevant. But I just think it'd be nice to have. And now we have our first good weapon. Oh, shit.
Head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
So that is the voice we're going to be ignoring for most of this playthrough. If you ever hear that voice, I want you to know that, yeah, it doesn't matter. Messages of impending doom, possibly messages of warning, foreshadowing. Just ignore those. They're nothing in the grand scheme of things. We're just going to ignore them because honestly, at the end of the day, who really needs it? Wait, is there a jump button in this game? I forget. There is! Right, this is one of the few games where you actually have the potential to tell Link to jump. That is a marvel in and of itself. But before that, we should jump into this puddle. Because... Yeah, you found me! What? You're not Hetsu. Or Hestu. But you can see me? I didn't know your kind could see the children of the forest. Well, if you run into Hestu, please return this to him. Oh, and my friends are hiding in lots of different places too. Don't be shy about poking your nose into suspicious places. I kinda like that line. Don't be shy about sticking your nose into suspicious places. That is a terrible piece of advice. Though, in Breath of the Wild, it's very apt and very descriptive of what you have to do in order to be here. That being said, as a piece of advice, I don't think that's the greatest. Alright, so now that we've gotten our first, what was it? It's called a Korok seed. I think it's time to visit an old landmark. Something very important to the Zelda series that I absolutely adore the design of. And for those of you who don't know, the first Zelda game I ever played was Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I have so many fond memories of that game, of exploring its world and just building upon the foundation that was Zelda. And the Temple of Time was always one of my favorite places to be in. If only because of the music that played while I was in there. But this place is a really important landmark to Zelda. And it's really important to me, too. Help! Come on. Bite me! Sweet. I'm gonna get back to being emotional. Anyone disturbs me, I kill them. I really like the inclusion of the Temple of Time on the Great Plateau. It's a nice little nod to a game that you may have played if you owned an N64. You most likely have played if you owned an N64. And even if you didn't, they've released Ocarina of Time on so many platforms that it's one that you may be intimately familiar with, even if you haven't fully played through the game yet. Well, let's walk inside real quick, because I want to see what this place looks like. The only thing I don't like about this area is the fact that I can't hear the music playing. Specifically the music I'm so very intimately familiar with. Your tree branch is badly damaged. Oh, I think this is the first time we actually experience and encounter weapon durability. Which is, to say the least, a controversial feature in this game. Though I don't think it ultimately matters all that much. I feel like weapon durability was definitely drawn out a little bit too much in people's reviews. I do think weapon durability does, to an extent, have a negative impact on people's perception of the game. But, honestly, if we're really talking about how it matters in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't. There are so many opportunities to find good weapons around the land that is Hyrule that weapon durability almost never matters. But we'll get into that once we're further in the game and it matters a little bit more. As an example, though, killing an enemy netted us a new weapon entirely. Keep forgetting that the jump isn't automatic. Alright, well, our first stop is that yellow marker. We're gonna head over. We're gonna see what we can do. Do 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 do. Come on. Actually, I should probably use its weapon. Since this weapon's actually meant to be a weapon, the axe is more meant for you to cut down trees, which I never really understood the point of them giving you that. It's definitely meant for you to use as your first, like, legitimate weapon. However, the axe itself is only so good at fighting and killing enemies. Also, in case you haven't noticed, the Nintendo Switch had some minor frame stutter. Oh, also, give me a second. There is okay, I've gotta cover this. Well, what I wanted to say, oh god, I missed. What I wanted to say was that we have a new weapon. It's called the bow and arrow. And as a staple of any series, it would have been wrong for me to just ignore it during the next fight. Ooh, what's over here? Besides more bokoblins, probably. I don't see anything. Really? Nothing here. I mean, there's barrels. But barrels only do so much for you. Yeah. Even breaking them is a little bit hard up until a little bit later. Alright. Boulders, rocks. Give me a second. I get the feeling I know what we're supposed to do here. If I'm right, this will be amazing. I'm right. Come on. We have to get this right. Shove. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. You got one of them. The other one doesn't seem, I mean, the other one seemed panicked that his friend just died in front of him, but I think he's accepted the fate. He's like, no, we knew that sitting down here under these precarious boulders would eventually lead to my friend's death. It was just a matter of time, really. Uh-oh, that one might not hit at all. Or it can, and I'll be very surprised. I have done this many a times where it hasn't hit. and is unfortunately the reality I have to live with sometimes. Then I have to go down there and kill them myself, which I'm not sure if you've noticed by the amount of health damage we've already taken, but I'm not the best at combat. Not all the time, anyways. I guess it really depends on the enemy you're fighting, but bokoblins can be a pain to deal with depending on when you encounter them. Oh god. Two bokoblins with arrows there. That one has a actually halfway decent weapon. See if we can get it. Ooh, because we killed him with the bow and arrow. Oh, and he gave me arrows. Yeah. Traveler sword. That's what we wanted. Also, I'm not sure if I'm going to curse in this playthrough, so I should probably like bleep that out somehow. I'll figure out what noise would be good later. But we've made it to our first marker. Please place the Sheikah slate in the pedestal. Please watch for falling rocks. That's an ominous statement. Distilling local information. And we found the regional map.
Try to remember. You have been asleep for the past 100 years. The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end. Now then, you must hurry, Link. Before it's too late.
I just want to quickly ask something, if only for my own validation, because I am as curious as you might be, but am I the only one who never imagined that Zelda would be British? I remember playing the games as a kid, whether it was Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. I never imagined like an English accent. So for any of those characters, so when Breath of the Wild came around, and it turns out that it was gonna have voice acting to some extent, and Zelda was gonna sound English, I didn't know how to feel about it. if only because I never imagined them with those accents before. It makes sense in context of what they're based on and what this world is about. But I never understood that decision. Either way, that is going to be the end of this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, you should subscribe, like, and follow. Do all those things that you do on YouTube, because that is what we're going to be doing. And I will see you in the next episode, which hopefully won't be 30 minutes. We will see. Bye, everyone.